this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No.
We return to our planet. The High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to SeptumSin vs. the World. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobuki Jake.
Hey.
This is Olivia. This is Ozzy. And we are here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
You know, we're out of spooky season, which is sad, really. I like spooky season. Now we're into
the cover of this one.
stuff your face season. But a new thing is coming out and will be coming to a shop near you sometime in the future, and that is the Anhedenia project. Now this actually came out before Amityville Webcam. This is actually my first ever feature film that I directed. It's a documentary which covers, you can actually watch them, the Anhedenia project, which was a project that was given to me to watch as many of Evan Jacobs' films as humanly possible, and I watched all of the films that he had released up to that point in less than a month, and managed to put them all out with mini reviews. On this includes the trailer. It also includes the first 27 episodes. I said 30, but I think 27 was really the ones that I saw. So the first 27 episodes of that series, but you can see all that here on this channel if you want. But you can't see the film, which kind of goes over my thoughts going through my head as I was going through all of these in rapid succession. Evan Jacobs still does many films today. Very great production.
He probably did do many films today.
And an amazing individual. And hopefully this will be available soon to those of you out there who want it. And it definitely introduces you to a filmmaker that deserves a lot of praise and a lot of respect. There are some stinkers in there, and I don't hold back on that, but there are some amazing films that have impressed me when it comes to the micro-budget space. And I think they would also impress you if you give them the chance. All right, well, that's enough self promotion. So let's talk about movies. So some of these, actually, one of these is an update, and that is Nothing But Trouble. Now I went ahead and I got this fairly cheap on an Amazon sale for I think $5 or $6. And I have the flipper copy, and I don't like those copies because they're kind of notoriously bad, and many of them are bad copies, because several people are having those flipper ones go bad on them. But this is one that a lot of people dislike.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
This is a horror comedy with Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, and Demi Moore. So great cast.
It is.
And this is about them going to this kind of horror family that lives in this kind of junkyard and mansion on the hill, and the horrors that are involved in this. I haven't seen it in many years. I plan to try and watch it before the spooky season ends, because we're recording this kind of a week ahead. And because y'all probably at this point just watching our pickup that we filmed last week, which was the horror pickup. But this one's actually very fun. I enjoyed it. I think I'm one of the few people who does, and it does have a great cast, if anything, if you ever want to check
I guess given that Shout decided to give it that treatment, there must have been a few people that enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean,
I need to see it again.
It's probably got a cult following.
Yeah, probably. All right. So, a film that kind of went the opposite trajectory. It was beloved when it came out and has faded somewhat over the years. I thought it was a really good movie when I saw it. I need to see it again. But a film that has become one of the somewhat controversial Oscar winners of the 80s, and that's a long list, is this is an upgrade for me from DVD to Blu-ray, and that is the movie Rain Man. Another Barry Levinson film. If you watch the film that we'll be putting out on Election Day, or did put out whenever.
Yeah, it did put out.
That also featured a Dustin Hoffman pairing with Barry Levinson. Apparently, they've worked together a couple of times. This one, of course, features Hoffman with Tom Cruise. You've also got Valeria Golino in there, music by Hans Zimmer. This is not a bad addition. It's got a handful of bonus features. Pretty good addition. This won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture. And like I said, it has dropped in the rankings over the years. It's nowhere near the most hated Best Picture winner. But I think a lot of people are becoming sensitive to Dustin Hoffman playing a character on the spectrum. He does a good job, but I think a lot of people are becoming sensitive to that.
I think as and this is one of the things, I think that a lot of people view that as what the spectrum is, especially back in those days. It kind of influenced how people viewed people on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I think that's how our current administration views all people on the spectrum.
For better or worse, it did actually, Rain Man kind of became sort of a pejorative over the next decade. I won't say mostly for worse. But
yeah, mostly for worse.
In terms of the film as a film, it's a good movie. It's good performances. It's well made. I enjoyed it well enough when I saw it. And I'll probably see it again one of these days. And again, I had it on DVD, and this gives it a slimmer, more long-lived version to have on the shelf. It's worth looking at. It's worth having. But again, it's a good example of how sometimes what Oscar loves in a given year is not what people look fondly on years from there.
I think that, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's a lot about how society views things.
Yeah.
And people didn't actually think of people like, say, Dan Aykroyd as being on the spectrum.
Right.
They thought of them as eccentric individuals.
Right.
When people thought about on the spectrum, high functioning was not even listed.
Much like both of these are considered eccentric individuals nowadays.
Yes.
This also was notable as one of the films that introduced Tom Cruise as a dramatic actor. Because up until then, he was mostly known for comedies and action films. So it was important for that,
So, the next film I have has a lot to do with this film, which I have shown off a long time ago when I picked that up. Super Size Me, Morgan Spurlock. And that is kind of an answer to that, which was Fathead. Now, I got this back from my mother because she loved this film, but she's kind of liquidating her physical media collection. And this was one of the few that is very badly out of print, and I want to make sure that I have a copy of it. And I'm probably going to rip it eventually and have it so that it's digitally also cared for. So this was an answer to this, and you got to kind of put yourself back in the day. Because nowadays it's a little bit more widely understood that this was a bit of an exaggeration. But back in the day, this was looked at as straight out the project that was there. This guy was legit eating McDonald's for a month, and he was there. It actually got rid of the super size. It actually added salads and healthy items to the menus because everybody looked at this and said, yeah, that's right. Look at how unhealthy it is.
and this one also harkens back to our video earlier in the week where we talked about Food Incorporated. And I will say those two movies did have an impact on my diet. It didn't fully stick, but they did have an impact.
So now, this one actually, he said he was going to go and do the same project. But he's like, let's see if I can actually eat McDonald's, and I'm not talking about just doing the salads and stuff, but let's eat McDonald's and see if I can actually lose weight and be healthier at the end. He actually managed to do it, and not only lost weight, but actually his numbers improved at the end of it by eating only McDonald's for the month. Now, this is a very Atkins-friendly film, because a lot of the stuff he looked at is he would not drink the big sodas because those were, in his opinion, the calorie bombs. He also was looking at Spurlock's numbers and like saying, there's no way. What he's shown eating is nothing compared to the calorie count he has for those days. And now it actually is true that Spurlock was fudging his numbers. He was eating extra stuff in order to fudge his own numbers, his own weight gain and stuff in order to make them look worse because he needed it to look more expansive than it was. It would have actually taken a lot longer on the McDonald's diet to get him to where he was. So, you know, take it or leave it. And some might even look at it as saying that it's worth fudging the numbers to get people away from McDonald's. But still, when you do that, it kind of makes you disingenuous. Now here, he went in, he examined McDonald's. It's very similar to this documentary in some ways, but it examined McDonald's from a more neutral light. And it did examine how things are broken down. It's kind of look at the carbs versus the proteins versus the fibers, and you can actually break it down. Eat McDonald's for 3 meals a day if you want, and still maintain health. But you gotta look at it selectively. You can't be drinking the giant sodas every time. You don't need all 3 buns in the Big Mac. So it is a kind of cool documentary to show that, yes, and he uses the baloney there as a kind of a term of this kind of inaccurate in a lot of ways. So, Fatheads, a good documentary overall. Maybe a little bit too pro-Atkins in a lot of ways, because Atkins is also unhealthy for the fact that you do need some carbs in your diet, especially fruits. But does kind of help in a lot of ways. I actually do like that it kind of called it out. It was one of the first ones to call it out. And then later, it was found that, those numbers were rigged a bit.
Alrighty. So next up is another one that I'm mostly sure I don't have already on Blu-ray. This one was, by the way, an Amazon pickup. I think it was an add-on to a purchase I had to make. I largely avoid Amazon nowadays, but if I have to make a purchase sometimes, and I'll sometimes fish around for a couple of deals while I'm at it. And I may have ordered Rain Man at the same time that I ordered this movie, which again, I'm pretty sure I have on DVD, but I need to... If I'm presenting something I've already presented, whatever. It's still a fun movie to talk about. And it's not the greatest film ever made, but it is a fun film. And that is the Nicolas Cage starring Con Air.
Oh yeah, fun one.
Which features as well John Cusack, John Malkovich. It's a Jerry Bruckheimer film, so you know it's quality there. Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, directed by Simon West, written by Scott Rosenberg. We have Cole Meany's in there, Steve Buscemi, Ving Rhames, Rachel Ticotin, etc., etc. The basic gist of it is, for those few of you who don't know, basically, Cage is a recent prison parolee who's on his way home to his family, to his wife. And if I recall correctly, I believe she was pregnant when he went to jail, so he's got like a little girl waiting for him. And he, for reasons, they stick him on a transport with several maximum security prisoners. If I recall correctly, I think Buscemi plays a Hannibal Lecter knockoff, basically. That gets hijacked in flight, and Cusack plays the federal agent who's trying to kind of talk them down. You know, it's sort of a Die Hard situation where you have the guy on the outside and the guy on the inside, and they're kind of trying to work together.
It's over the top and fun, but the performances.
Yes.
And it's not just Nicolas Cage that does the over-the-top performances in this.
Yeah. And I remember when this came out, I was in love with Leon Rimes. I'll just put it that way. And I remember there was a big to-do about dueling versions of the theme song. Her and Trisha Yearwood put out How Do I Live? And to this day, I don't know how Diane Warren did not win an Oscar in the late 90s. It's gotten to the point where they give her a nomination every single year now on the thought that she'll win one of these days. But between this one and, How Do I Live and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing and what were some of the other? There were like 4 songs from the 90s and early aughts that I can't believe she did not win an Oscar for one of those songs. But this is, again, it's not high art, but it's fun. It's a good movie. It's worth a look. And Nicolas Cage is very Nicolas Cage, but actually a somewhat restrained Nicolas Cage. So, it's good times.
So this one is, I am behind again on Marvel. Not just one movie, but a series, because Marvel Zombies I haven't watched.
Yeah.
And this one I was going to watch in theaters, but something happened that we weren't able to do it. And that is the Fantastic Four, the newest one that's out. I will be watching this sooner than later, probably on the week that we're talking about this here. I mean, I don't think anybody has to know what Fantastic Four is about. There's been plenty of movies, comics, and so on. It's a bunch of people, they went into space, got cosmic powers.
And they're fantastic.
And, that is about the end there. I think the biggest thing that's different there, they switched the gender of the Silver Surfer, and they have them versus Galactus, which is fine. I mean, that was the second one. When Rise of Silver Surfer was this plot. But I've heard this one was much better. So we'll see how that goes.
We got Paul Walter Hauser as Mole Man, and he steals the movie.
So I'm curious about it. Like I said, I've been wanting to watch this for a while, and I'm kind of glad to go ahead and get it and be caught up at least with the Marvel movies. I'll watch Marvel Zombies eventually and get that done. That's a very dark one. But,
I'm a ways away from that. We're still working on Luke Cage.
Yeah, I've seen everything with the exception of Runaways, but I've even seen Cloak and Dagger all the way through.
Oh, okay.
So I've seen most everything Marvel that's in the MCU, or even to the side of the MCU. So the only thing I've not seen is Marvel Zombies.
Okay.
And this.
Okay.
So.
Good times.
Yep.
All right. My next one is one I needed to see. It was one I intended to see and didn't get around to it. Relatively recent film that, much like Fantastic Four, is based on an IP that's been around for a while. This is actually a remake of the old tale that Steve Martin remade as Roxanne, and of course the French did a version with Gérard Depardieu a couple years later. It's a remake of the Cyrano de Bergerac tale, starring Peter Dinklage, called Cyrano. And you got Haley Bennett in there, Kelvin Harrison Jr., directed by Joe Wright, who did The Soloist and Atonement and the Keira Knightley version of Pride and Prejudice. You got Ben Mendelsohn in here. Did you end up seeing this movie?
I have not.
I feel like Dave saw it. I feel like he said he really enjoyed it. I wanted to see this. Dinklage is a great actor. He is all over the place nowadays, but he really is a great actor. I really like Joe Wright as a director. I'm very intrigued by this version. The story is a good story. So I look forward to seeing this. It actually was a donation that I was able to pick up dirt cheap, and it's on Blu-ray to boot. And I'm like, all right, I cannot pass this up. I'll have to see it eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if we do it one of these days in the movie group, and now I have a copy for when we do.
Well, I was looking for the first and second of the films of this one, but I'll have to find those later on.
Okay.
And that is Jacker 3 Road to Hell. Now, this came out this week, this Monday. I got it. And for those of you who are watching the channel, you may have seen my review for it because I had my review release on Halloween. Okay. And I've watched this already. For those of you who are fans of the original Jacker films, which are about 30 years old, it stars this guy, Phil Harmon, who is this kind of satanic carjacker who goes around and slaughters people for most of the movie. And this one, the one person that got away, played by Debbie D, Gloria, she has been having nightmares about his return, and there's a reporter investigating it. Meanwhile, Jacker is back at it, and he's just going on a killing spree, like shooting, killing people left and right. Kills Eddie Monster. Eddie Monster is in here, the guy who played them. He didn't kill it. Well, you'll see it, and you see the movie. If you have a chance, you should check it out. If you want to get a copy, you can contact him through Facebook Messenger. I think he's running a little bit of a sale on it right now, so you might be able to get this fairly cheap. It is a good movie. It is well done as far as slashers are concerned. It's a micro-budget film, keep that in mind, but it's a pretty well done micro-budget film. There's definitely a lot of attention to it. Pretty solid editing, which is hard to say for a lot of micro-budget features. And with only some minor gripes here and there. But check out the review. Check out the film. You'll like it.
Okay. My next ones are definitely not micro budget, although if I remember correctly, the first one was low budget, I think. Certainly the newest ones have been anything but micro budget. One item that showed up a few weeks back as a donation was actually a packet of films. And I had all 4 of them, but I already had one of them on Blu-ray, so I opened the packet, left that one for the next taker, and collected the other 3. So these are all upgrades now from DVD, one of which I know was a freaking flipper. I think they all were. But these were, it's a series that is well known, well loved. I've always thought it's overrated, but it's got its enjoyment, its entertainment value. Yes. And we have covered it on the channel. At the very least, we covered one of the movies and kind of, I think we did an expansive episode covering several films. And that is the Mad Max series by George Miller. And I now have Blu-ray editions of Mad Max, The Road Warrior, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which I know this one was a freaking flipper. I can't remember if the others were, but and these have some, like this one, Mad Max has some pretty good special features on it. Not as many on Road Warrior, not really any on Thunderdome, but still, this takes up a lot less space than the DVDs. They're better copies, especially the one that was in the goddamn flipper. And, you know, I definitely, maybe one day I'll replace them all with a complete collection if one is available. But in the meantime, I don't mind having individual Blu-rays of the series. And it was a really great opportunity to upgrade really cheaply.
Let's see. I went first, so I guess I'm ending first.
Yeah.
This is another one that was fresh released, technically, and that is Shakespeare Shitstorm, which is one of the newer Troma films by Lloyd Kaufman, one of his latest directed films. Now, this one has been out for a while on streaming, but I refuse to stream it, so I...
Special fecultures?
Yeah. So I finally got this when it released, on the day of its release. I'm looking forward to it. Our friend Kyle is in this one. Not a speaking role, but according to what he says, he does have some screen time in it, which is pretty cool. I think Forrest is involved in it, and several people that we know. And this is actually, Troma is a pretty big thing. So I am curious about it. I've been curious about it for a while, and now I've run out of excuses, and I guess I'm going to be watching it. My hope is by Halloween I'm going to be... I just finished, finally, watching through the American Horror Stories Season 4, which was the Freak Show. And, man, that ended darkly.
I never saw the ending of Freak Show. I need to finish it.
And then the other one that I'm watching right now is that the anime about the pathetic vampire, and like the vampire dies too easily. I can't remember what the name of it is. And that one's so far fun, but I'm probably going to end up getting through it before the end of the week. So I'm probably going to try and watch this one and this one before the end of the week, so that I can get there. But that's it for mine. And this one probably has it has a ton of special features,
special fecultures.
So it should be pretty good.
I've heard a lot about this, so you'll have to tell me if it's worth watching. Anyway, and I'll take that with a grain of salt. Now for something completely different.
Slightly.
My last one is also, I'm going to end with another library pickup that is, along with Cyrano and Anhedenia project, I guess, how's that for a trilogy? The 3 movies that are new to my collection. And it disappoints me that this wasn't on DVD, but years ago, I made a list. I'm pretty sure this is the one I made by looking at the Internet Movie Database's list of the top 250 films. I don't even know where this list is anymore. When I made the list, I think I was 50 movies short. Or I think there were like 50 I had not seen and maybe 5 that I had a question mark. I really should have just looked at the whole list so that I'd really have an idea of what was on the list at the time. But anyway, I thought it would be fun to watch as many of them as I could. One of the last holdouts, was a holdout in part because this movie was freaking out of print for the longest time. It was rare. I could not find it. And I don't know how long it was in print. I don't know if it's in print on Blu-ray. I haven't looked into it for a while. But when I saw a copy, I was like, I am grabbing this movie. It's one that I wanted to see anyway, because it looks like it'd be a lot of fun. And that is a movie from the early 70s called Sleuth.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I was thinking
features Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier. It was nominated actually for Oscars for both of them. Nominated for Best Director for Joseph L. Mankiewicz. This is not a bad addition. It's got a few bonus features on it, not a huge amount. Personally, from everything I've heard about this, I'm kind of waiting for a Criterion release. But in the meantime, this is a nice placeholder. Looking at this, package design 2002, so maybe this was in print briefly and fell out of print by the time I made that list.
Yeah, I remember you looking for that film.
Yeah, I was looking for this movie, and I finally found it. And it'd be nice one day to get it in a nice slim Blu-ray edition, preferably one by Criterion or Arrow or something like that. But this is not a bad placeholder in the meantime, and I am happy I finally got it. I might try to watch this one sooner than later and finally get it done.
Grail item.
What's up?
Grail item.
In a sense, yes. But I do, and I enjoy my, I think this is supposed to be a whodunit kind of movie, and I do enjoy those. And it's considered the final film by Mankiewicz. So that may be part of the reason why there was so much hype about it. I don't know. But worth looking at, and I'm glad I finally found it.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and share, and comment below on what you picked up on this week. But we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
SeptumSin versus the world. It's that place for all the boys and girls. You'll feel real safe, you'll feel real warm. It's a cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin! SeptumSin and his best boy Jake see the trends that scare us every day. Physical media is going to the side. Doctor streaming will rule the world in time.